It's the last weekend before Christmas. Today's Friday the 20th. We're very close to Christmas now. Had a lovely day with my friend today. We've worked solid 6 hours on our beginners knitting beginner scarf. It's harder writing a pattern than you would think. I did write one years ago and we looked at it today and it's not very good. Our standards are very high, but we got as far as knitting the first stitch on the pattern, and there's a few bits missing from the beginning, so we shall be working on them once more before the end of the year. But come along and hope you enjoy my day. Morning. I thought I would have a little catch up on my whips this morning. I got quite a bit done yesterday, although I don't feel like I had that much knitting time, but I have nearly finished Ella's hot water bottle cover. It's to go on this hot water bottle cover, and as you can see, slightly smaller. The other two I made were slightly smaller as well. It just stretches the fabric so that the heat can come through nicely, so I think that will be perfect. On the other two I've knitted about 40 rows of ribbing on the neck, so I'll do the same, and then that is ready. This yarn, this is my first try of Yarnsmith's Merino DK from the Wool Warehouse. It's their own brand range, new range. I've got mixed feelings about it at the minute. It feels a bit synthetic in a strange way. It's very plump. It's not the thickest DK I've knitted. I think it's closer to sport, but we'll see how it washes. It's very, very solid colour. I do like a little bit of flex and interest in yarn, but Ella will love this, so this is fine. It is soft, but there's a funny synthetic feeling about it. It is nicely spun and it doesn't split until you rip it out and knit with it again. Then it splits like mad. I had made a mistake and I had to rip back a couple of rows, and oh my goodness, it was splitting like I've never seen anything like it. So basically don't make mistakes with this yarn. But this is nearly ready. This is gonna be my first job this morning. I'm gonna finish it off, slightly wet it, put some hot water in the hot water bottle cover, and then that will mold it nicely around it. So that's my first job this morning. And I've got two scarves on the go. Oh, there's one. I've got two scarves on the go, and then I've got a jumper. I can't remember if I've shown this one or when I showed it to you. I've just done garter stitch section and stockinette stitch section on. I'm into it a little bit so far. These variegated yarns aren't really my cup of tea, but I just wanted to show how it would look in the stitch patterns. But I wouldn't recommend this yarn to a beginner knitter. What this scarf pattern that me and my friend are designing is for, because this yarn is really difficult to see your stitches. When I was casting on, it had this is it called barber pole, when there's like two colours spun together. It was so hard to count your stitches and see your stitches, and it was probably the worst bit of the yarn that you could start to cast on with. There are some sections that are nearly plain, so that will probably be easier to start with, but yeah, it hasn't had that much work on it. This is an old project bag that I made a few years ago. I made this from an old dress that I had made for Ella. I had bought this Moomin fabric in Finland. She grew out of the dress, So I just cut the dress up and made it into project bags. I made it into quite a few project bags. I think I managed to get 5 or 6 out of it, and I kept one. It's nice size for this. This is a 200, was it 300 gram ball? I think it's a 200 gram ball, but it's got a really good meterage, so it's perfect size for it. And then the scarf fits on top. I'm knitting it on old ponies, and I'm not enjoying it much. All I used to knit with was pony needles all the time, but they've got funny grip to them. I knit with Chowgu red lace needles all the time now, and they are just, I like the sharpness of the tip on them. The tips are really sharp. The needles are really glidey. These are like, they've got a little bit of grit on them. They haven't, but in comparison to stainless steel, they're just not quite the same. But I thought, since we're teaching new knitters, it'll be nice to have some knowledge on different needles and share experiences on different needles, and we all like different needles, different yarns demand different needles, I feel. So, but yeah, that's what I've got on there. And then I started Ella's Eclair jumper yesterday. I'm just checking that my stitch markers are in on the cable and not in the gap. So yeah, that's coming on nicely. It's top down raglan oversized jumper. I just went straight into it. I didn't swatch. I haven't even measured my stitches yet, so I should probably do that, because the 2 smallest sizes start with the same amount of stitches. So now's a good time. I've got enough fabric here to measure my stitches to get an idea whether I should go for the first or the second size. But I just sort of thought I'll do the first size. But yeah, I haven't measured anything. I will put this on a longer cable now. It's a little bit uncomfortable to knit with, but it was fine when I was doing the collar. But now I've got more fabric on it, and I've got it on 5-inch tips. It's not really going round easily. It would be fine if I had 4-inch tips, but this last inch is just a little bit too much. That was just my washing machine beeping saying I'm done. I washed Ella's school cardie. Well, I put it in into the water last night, left it overnight. I squeezed it as dry as I could this morning, and then I put it in the washing machine to spin dry, because it takes so long to dry things this time of the year. But it's alpaca, and I have felt a few things in my washing machine. So let me just go and get that and have a look if it survived. Yay, it survived. It came off beautifully, and it is so nearly dry. You can probably see it a little bit better today, because like yesterday it was terrible. Yeah, it's worn so well. There's only a little bit of pilling in the armpits. All the sticks are going strong. I'm gonna lay it flat to dry now, and then I will depill it when it's dry. But I'm really pleased. What I've learned is, I think the key is, if you want to spin it in a washing machine, you have to squeeze it dry, so dry. If you think it's dry, squeeze through it another 3 times, because if you put it in the washing machine to spin it too wet, there's too much friction and it just goes round as a lump. But dry you can get it, it will just line the drum and it will spin it. I could actually hear it. I could hear that my washing machine was spinning properly. So yeah, very pleased. That is now Ella's uniform is in the tumble dryer, so we are all, the school year is out of the way. I can get this dry, fold them away till next year. But I'll just pop that aside for a moment. Yeah, I'm knitting on Ella's jumper. I've just got, I think it's 22 rows of increases and 1 row in between. So I've got about 44 rows to do before splitting for the armpits, and I'm probably on row 15 or something. That one was the last row before I started, so I'm counting after this stitch marker. So when I've done 44 rows after the stitch marker, I should have the right amount of stitches for the body and the sleeves. So yeah, that's going well. But what's not going so well is another absolute beginner scarf that me and my friend are writing the pattern for. It was funny, I had a catch up with my friends, with Debbie, who I'm writing the pattern with, and with Lindsay last night. We had our Christmas catch up and I was showing the scarf to them. And I've knitted an extra section into the scarf that shouldn't be there. So this will obviously be my scarf that I wear. Because this is to teach brand new knitters knit and purl stitch. So we start with a garter section, then we do a stockinette section, and we change our mind. At first we were going to do a section of 1x1 ribbing and then do a section of 2x2 ribbing, but we changed our mind and we thought, let's do 2x2 ribbing first, because it's a little bit easier to see your stitches, and then do a section of 1x1 ribbing. But for some reason, I've done another section of 2x2 ribbing after that. When I was showing it to my friends on screen last night, I was a little bit like, who's knitted that section into there? I didn't do that. I obviously done it. It did start feeling a bit long, but I've been working so close to it, I never sort of took a bit of distance to it and had a look at it. You should always do that. Just look at your work, just put it a little bit further away and look at it. But anyway, the main reason we wanted to do the 2x2s first, that both of us found that seed stitch, 2x2 seed stitch or moss stitch, I don't really know the difference. I think it's the same thing. We found that 2x2 is easier than 1x1. So we thought, let's do the 2x2 first. So I'm nearly done the 1x1 seed stitch section, and then I've got a weave stitch left, and then this one is done. So I'm hoping to finish this one very soon as well, so I can start wearing it. I'm absolutely desperate to wear this scarf. So yeah, this will definitely be mine, because there's that extra 2x2 ribbing section. Never mind. But yeah, that's all what I've got on my needles at the minute, and they're all a little bit different. Obviously the two scarves are the same, but I'm on different sections on them. So yeah, I might even be casting something new on, who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of knitting before I go and do the food shop, since I couldn't be bothered yesterday. But I'm gonna get to Aldi shortly after the serious shoppers have been at 8 o'clock, so I'll go shortly after. I won't be queuing to get in, but I want to get it done because I'm working from home with my friend today. Oh, another beautiful sunrise this morning, and very frosty. I don't know if you can see the white roofs. Yeah, very frosty morning, but a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Time to open the advent calendar. Door number 20, and today I'm wearing my Pan cardigan as Peter Pan. I wish I had the buttons buttoned up, but I haven't. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. This is a half brioche cardigan by Sari Nordlund, called the Pan cardigan. She called it Pan cardigan because I think her first sample was Peter Pan green. This is my third one I've knitted. The first two I knitted with Drops Charisma, I think. One in sort of sage green and the other one in a lilac. Both really lovely yarns. Loads of different flecks of colour in them. But for some reason I never wore them. But this pattern is written in 4-ply and mohair held together, and I thought maybe I should actually try what it says on the pattern rather than do it in straight DK, and I think that's exactly what was needed. Last summer I went to Market Raisin for a day trip with my friend because there's a wool shop there, so we went to a wool shop and to a cafe, and she had the yarn that the 4-ply in this, which is Rico Suburba sock yarn. It's very cold, very warm grey with different flecks of colour. You can just about see them. Really lovely yarn. And then I paired it with Sheepy's mohair rhythm, Sheepy's rhythm, in a colour called Robotic, and it is a very, very cold. Which way around they are? Robotic is cold and the Suburba was warm, and I took the 4-ply to my shop to look at it with the Robotic, the Sheepy's yarn, which Jackie sells in my shop, and I had them in front of me for a full day because they are opposite, and I just didn't know whether I should knit with them, but it was readily available. I could cast on straight away, so I cast on, and this card is amazing. It goes with everything. I think it's because it's got warm and cold tones of grey, very light grey mixed together. It's lovely. And I got these buttons, shell buttons from Amazon, I think. So I was looking for different buttons. It's got a really, really nice rhythm to it. The decreases, it is so good. I love that curve and how those 3 stitches follow the edge. Very easy. In the pattern, you're supposed to do the button band with just the 4-ply, just holding 2 strands of the 4-ply. But I just did it all holding 4-ply and mohair together, and I love it. I just don't wear cardigans much in the winter because I work in the shop and I have the door open all the time, and it does get a bit chilly there. But hopefully I'll have a scarf to put on very soon so I can start wearing my cardigans more. But I'm going to wear this today. It's lovely oversized shape, really easy to wear. It might have pockets actually. I think the original pattern might have pockets, but I always find knitted pockets stretch out and start looking really frumpy really quickly, so that is very rare that I put in knitted pockets anymore. But yeah, love it, absolutely love it. I've just popped Ella's jumper on a longer cable and measured my gauge, which is 14.5 stitches to 10 centimeters, and it should be 15. So I'm pretty happy with that because this will probably grow tiny little bit, so very happy. I'm just watching this knitting podcast and she's got so many fairy lights that it inspired me to put my fairy lights back on and in my yarn cupboard. Lovely podcast. This lady has only been knitting for 2 years and she does some amazing things. I'll link her name down below. If I pause it, it might say
so the next pattern, this one's like a little
AKA Nora Knits. Is that her name? Does it say? Yeah, AKA Nora Knits. Highly recommend her. Yeah, lovely podcast. But yeah, got some more fairy lights. We have cast on and we have knitted some stitches. It has taken a little bit of time to get this far on our knitting pattern, but we are getting there. Very, very pleased. We worked very hard today. A good 6-hour day, solid working, and we've cast on our absolute beginner scarf pattern. just popped out for a little walk after having our heads in the laptop all day, looking at the Christmas lights around Lincoln. That you can see the cathedral from anywhere in Lincoln. There it is, proudly stands on top of the hill, lit up in purple tonight. Just going to pop into Hobbycraft to see if they've got a little crochet kit for Ella. She's mentioned it again that she would quite like to learn how to crochet, so wish me luck. I did find the crochet kits, but they are all either intermediate or expert level, so I think we will head to YouTube. This is the Brayford pole. I've shown this a couple of times to you, but I haven't been on this side. I vividly remember this side being just about derelict when I first started visiting Lincoln from 1999, and it is thriving now. It's lovely. Just got back from my little walk and I'm so pleased that I went. I've been a little bit cold all day and we've had the fire going, but it's so mild outside. But I suppose when you're sitting still all day, it's it just feels a bit cold. But yeah, I got my steps in. Didn't get a crochet kit for Ella, but I was just thinking that I think if I just teach Ella how to chain, that might be enough rather than having a crochet kit. Maybe make some pom-poms and make some monsters of them with some chained legs or something like that. So I think that'll be enough. So I'm happy, and I've got a few other bits what I needed, and I'm just going to put my feet up and knit. We haven't done any knitting all day. I did a little bit this morning, but although we've been writing a knitting pattern all day, we haven't actually done any knitting. So my fingers are itching to go.